You started recording.
You just drinking your yak?
I'm drinking my yak.
This is gonna be a blooper.
Calms my nerves.
I don't even know.
Calms my nerves. What's up, YouTube?
You beat me to it.
So I know this is going on YouTube. Honestly, I'm keep it real, so I don't even want to be on film.
No, he didn't. He doesn't mean that. Okay. YouTube family, this is SCL0320. Here for the first time ever doing a spoiler open chat. This is gonna be the first collaboration in the sense of a full spoiler review. Now y'all have seen me and this guy right here, Joe Wisdom, MoJo Jozo, Joseph Johnson. We did a spoiler review for The Great Gatsby, but this time around we're just having open discussion. What we're gonna try to do is another time, probably next month, we're gonna have it so y'all can join in. It's gonna be a live, open discussion, and we're just here right now to actually go into a movie we just saw. I've already done a review for it, done a spoiler review for it, but now I got a whole new fresh perspective. Joe's gonna go in on X-Men Days of Future Past with me. So definitely after whatever we talk about, leave your comments below on anything else y'all are thinking about. But more than anything, Joe,
yes,
the movie was epic.
It was epic. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think for a lot of your viewers out there, there's a lot of talk going on about me personally, you know, and a lot of people might disagree with this, but I will actually put this movie up against Dark Knight.
What?
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Alright, so y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard.
You can hate me, but
Look, okay. I'm not hating. What I'm saying is that for me, the original Batman 1989, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson was my first movie I ever saw. The Dark Knight was in of itself one of the best movies I think I've ever seen, period.
It is.
Now, when you say that this movie, which I will agree, I think, honestly, I liked it better than Captain America 2. And I loved that movie. But it's going to be very hard for me to say that this is better than The Dark Knight. I saw The Dark Knight like 10 times in the movie theaters. Now, I'm not disputing what you're saying because this is a really great movie. I don't think anybody should judge you on the fact of you saying that, because this movie did what The Dark Knight even couldn't do. It took not just one villain, but it took a whole different cast of people and interwove them in and out and gave them epic amounts of time to shine, basically. Because there wasn't one person on the villain side or the hero side. It was, the lines were blurred because everything was at stake.
Exactly.
And with every scene, if somebody was taken out, and I think you even said that when we were in the car, you had said that if something happened to one of the group members in the future, then it would all go down. Everybody was needed. And I think you said Blink was one of your favorite characters in that.
Yeah. I was just like, even in the combat sequences, like, if you took out one of the characters, the whole team would be at a loss. Like, you take your guy Bishop, you know, him being really strong, and like him being able to
absorb energy,
and then him being the guy who went back in the past, you know. We had Blink providing people with the portals. You know, that was super clutch.
I ain't gonna front, that was tight, because she would go off the gate, like somebody would get, like, they're about to get killed. She'd open a portal up, all of a sudden that thing would try to go through, and it's going somewhere totally different. Or they would use her as an offensive. If she weren't there, they would have died so much quicker.
Exactly.
To be quite honest with you.
Exactly.
And even when she died, though, that was pretty epic.
It was crazy. You felt that. What else? I would say it was the special effects in that movie. Granted, it did come out at a later time than Dark Knight. Okay. So technology wise, they have an upper hand. But I would say the special effects, man. I don't think I've ever seen special effects in a movie quite like this one.
Okay, all right. Now, if you think about that, then all right, you got the future world. In and of itself, just looks so crazy and just straight out of a comic book, almost like. And then you got the stadium scene where Magneto picks up the whole entire stadium and moves it and drops it on a curve of the White House. But the scene that we talked about, Quicksilver, that scene, y'all, it blew me away.
Blew everyone away.
Because the dude, first of all, he's a funny character, and I've seen him since Never Back Down, and I knew he was a good actor. But when we first saw, I don't know if you saw the pictures of him, his costume looked real cheesy, and so everybody was speculating that he wasn't gonna be any good. Then you finally see the character. He going back and forth playing ping pong, and he thinks as fast as he moves, and he thinks too fast. And then he goes and breaks his dad out, and then you have that epic scene where he's just, what was that? It was some kind of orchestrated music. And he was going through, and you see him just messing with everything and everyone. I don't know if you realized it, but you know that Magneto, when he went like this, he had all the machetes and the stuff in the kitchen. They were all aimed at everybody. He was pushing the metal away from them, so he took care of everybody else and protected his dad and protected everybody else around him. I didn't even notice that till the second time when I saw it.
I didn't notice that.
But it was beautiful CG, y'all. Like I mean, I think Joe's gonna have some more to talk about it. But
you could see, and I don't know how they did this, but while he was running on the wall, you could see his cheeks moving with the wind. Like,
yes.
I don't know how you do that. Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how did they capture this on film? Like, did they shoot his face and
with a whole bunch of wind pushing at him?
Yeah, that's the only way I can see it.
Or like a machine just.
But even then, it's still,
because his face was not CG. That was not CG.
Right.
It was his face.
That's wild. They had to capture. They had to get footage of wind being blown in his face, and then at that he's acting with wind blowing in his face, and then you go back and you have the water particles floating in the air, and while the water particles are floating in the air, you have the bullets going through the air and actually splattering the water particles. That was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, for all its faults, y'all have heard me talk about, like, I don't like X3. I really didn't like X3. Reason being is because, one, Xavier died, Jean died, and Scott, Cyclops, the leader. Even though they messed his character up for the series, he died. He shouldn't have died. And I didn't like it because of that. But when that scene happened, when the professor did get killed, and like everybody is like up there on the roof and you see the water pushing up into the roof, I thought that was some great CG. But this pushed the envelope for me. Like, as far as, I say, this is definitely the best X-Men movie they've ever done.
By far.
Visually, but I mean the acting though.
The acting, oh my gosh. Their cast of actors were
But who you think was kind of the standout though?
phenomenal.
What person?
I mean,
because they all kind of brought it.
They all did. Oh man, me personally, now that's hard, but me personally, my favorite character was Magneto's character. Now the Charles, I don't know his name, but the Charles Xavier character, like
James McAvoy.
Yes, his performance. I feel like his performance was probably the best, but I really enjoyed watching Magneto because of the character of Magneto that he played because he was just you didn't know what to expect when you watched him. Like you really didn't know what to expect.
No, I mean I feel what you're saying because part of the reason why First Class, like when you look at First Class and see where he comes from, and then he's just hunting these guys down to get the ultimate person that had killed his mom, like it was like you fell in love with the character all over again from even the first. I mean, I like Magneto more just from Michael Fassbender's character. Now I think that in this movie, this was more James McAvoy or Professor Xavier's stand out as far as acting is concerned. I think that Magneto did a lot more with his character in First Class, but in this one, his presence is known. Yeah. It's like you see the ruthlessness.
The ruthlessness. That's what it was, man. Like that. There's a scene where him and the professor are arguing on the plane.
Oh, that was one of my favorites.
And literally for like 3 seconds, like I was scared for Xavier and everyone on the plane. Cause like you see like first like Magneto is very calm, very collected. The next moment you see how powerful he is. And it's like
I think we should act this scene out. Okay.
No.
You be the professor. You be the professor.
I'm not about that.
No, come on. Just real quick. This
is a stretch just for me being on camera right now.
You doing good, Joe. Is he doing good, Joe? Is he deserves it?
This is
just try. Just try. Look at me. Don't look at the camera.
Alright, I'm gonna get my British accent now. Alright, you want to fight? We can fight.
Let him go.
Wait, what? Did he say that?
Yeah. As soon as he got up in his face, he said, "Let him come." And then he's talked all his talk. Then he started naming off Angel, XYZ, and then he's like, "They are all dead, all of them. You abandoned us." All of a sudden, the plane is teetering, and he's just sitting there, and like Xavier's like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Everybody is dead. You abandoned us." XYZ.
And when you hear that, it's like, dang, this dude really has a point. Is he the bad guy here? Like, you like, I don't know anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the dude is just crazy. Like he's just
well,
crazy.
This is the thing. It's the ones that are quiet you gotta watch out for. And that was a perfect example of it because he was so calm.
He was so calm.
He was real calm up until he got in his face. And I mean, even though, like, when they first broke him out, like, Xavier punched him in the face, he was getting on his nerves, then he came at him, he's like, "You took her away from me, you took them away from me, XYZ," and I was like, "Bang." But they were doing some great acting, y'all. It was
great acting.
It was amazing, and that's what a comic book movie should do. It should be, take the elements of history from the comic book strip and then put it on the screen with great performances, and you have to love your character for it to come out like that. Like, because I think the biggest thing for me with this movie is that I felt everything was at stake. I didn't know what the end result was going to be. Like, I didn't know if one of the characters might have gotten killed and they're no longer even in existence anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Mystique would have died, that character would never even have existed as far as the timeline we know. And I mean, even in the future, when you saw, like, there was a lot of deaths, bro.
There was a lot of
like, Iceman got his head lobbed off and then stepped on. And you don't believe it when you see it. Like, I was like, "No, Halle Berry! Lord, no!" But yeah, dude.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, because, like, that's one thing I really enjoy about this movie is how their opponent, you know, these Sentinels were really unbeatable. Like, literally. You know, and it's like, how are these guys going to win? You know, and it was a real challenge. It was a crazy challenge. It was like against all hope. Abandon all hope.
But you
guys are going to lose.
You made a good
X-Men.
point, though.
the whole desperado look. We're desperate. We have to do something out of ordinary. And the writers to this story, and I believe it's like we was talking earlier. It's like that was the original how they went about going back in the past, which I thought was just genius.
Mm-hmm.
You said that was. You mentioned earlier that was actually in the comic book series. So that in itself is just genius. So I was like, wow, that's smart. Like,
Yeah,
that's like super smart.
Yeah, like you could go and say, wait, we're fighting in the war. Matter of fact, the Edge of Darkness, or is it the Edge of something? Edge of Tomorrow, that's about to come out with Tom Cruise. You know how he dies, he gets to come back, and he strategizes again, and he dies, and he comes back. This is basically the same concept in that, like, if the Sentinels have them cornered, and that's it, then Shadowcat can use Bishop or whoever and let them know early in the past through the subconscious, and then they can strategize, and they were never even there. They were completely warned. So that means that you have full reign of changing reality just from altering your consciousness. And I mean, that, I was like, that is so powerful. They to me became the ultimate team that I always hoped they could be. Even though like their situation is jacked up, but they all ultimate the way they should be, from looking at X-Men 1, looking at X-Men 2, and the third one, they really weren't like the ultimate team that I hoped that they would be. It was kind of anticlimactic to me.
That's right.
But I did want to see like Wolverine like do some stuff in the future though. More. That was kind of one of my gripes. I wanted to see him, like, he had a new like armor, and like he had his claws back. I'm thinking about that. How did he get his claws back? How did Wolverine get his metal claws back? At the end of the Wolverine movie, remember where you got, and this, as a matter of fact, this is gonna bring a whole other thing up that some people on the page had asked me about, and we'll go into it, Joe. But when you look at the end of the Wolverine movie, after the guy had dug those things in his hands, what came back up was his bone claws. So both of his claws were ripped off. Okay, so he didn't have any adamantium metal claws. Then Professor Xavier and Magneto came and recruited him and told him that they need his help, which I don't understand. Because if that's the case, then one, how did Professor come back in his body, because he died at the end of the third one? And then two, how did Wolverine get his metal claws back? Now, I think that maybe Magneto might have used like his power of magnetism to like use some like watered down adamantium, but it doesn't make sense. Like I didn't understand it, like the pieces don't fit as far as the continuity. You understand what I mean by that?
I don't know what you mean.
So like, all right, you remember the end of the Wolverine, right?
Right.
And you remember how he had bone claws, right?
Right.
How did he get his metal claws in the future? Because the Wolverine takes place after X-Men 3.
Right.
X-Men 3, the professor died, and then, of course, Jean died.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end of the Wolverine, like, he got his claws ripped off, and what came back was his bone claws. So, at what point did he get adamantium claws again? You feel me?
I see what you're saying. That makes sense, but
I just didn't understand that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure, you know, they'll throw in something.
You think in the next one? In the next movie?
I don't know.
They'll fill in the gaps. Oh, so this is what somebody said on me. Matter of fact, we'll go through a couple of these. Now I get your opinion on them. William Jackson, he left this comment on my spoiler review for X-Men Days of Future Past. He has said, the after credit scene of X-Men 3 shows that Professor Xavier transferred his consciousness to another body to save himself. Why shouldn't it be enough? The other body could still be alive. Okay? This is what Diego Santos had followed up. He said, the problem is that people complain that he shouldn't be portrayed by the same actor, Patrick Stewart, since it's another body. Okay, so I do remember now that at the end of X-Men 3, there is an end credit scene where Mora was talking, and I think that somebody had woke up in Patrick Stewart's voice and said that I'm back. And she was like, "It worked, Charles. It worked, Charles." And I had thought, because he had talked about in the beginning of the third one, he had said there's a way of transferring human consciousness. And so that's fine. Okay, so that means that his consciousness is now in another person's body. But that doesn't explain how it's the same exact look of him. Now, I think somebody had said that it was his twin brother, which that's not in the comic books. I don't know. But either way, I mean, it doesn't matter now because the whole storyline is completely wiped out.
Right.
But it was kind of like a little plot hole for me because I was like, how would it be that he would have somebody to just happen to have the same exact body as him? And that was an interesting question. Thank you, William Jackson and Diego Santos, for that. What do you think, man?
I don't know. The only way I can really make sense of it is like, you gotta think about how he died. You know what I'm saying? It's like flesh was like disintegrated. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the wind.
He was evaporated.
Exactly.
There was nothing left.
Exactly.
So, wait. Now, he is a professor. And at the same time, he may have majored in genetics. Mora could have cloned his body.
Could have cloned his body. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know?
I mean, for argument's sake, you could say you seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? And use some type of like deep hidden power. You know what I'm saying? To re-materialize his body. You know what I'm saying? Because we really don't know the full extent
Of the professor's power.
Of his power.
Well, the thing that always has boggled me, and I'm not sure if any of y'all are deeper X-Men comic book fans than me, but I know that he has the power of being able to go and take his consciousness in and out of like different phases and of course different people. But like the fact that he can read a person's mind and do all these different things, and so can Jean, why can he not use telekinesis as well? If his mind is that powerful, why would he not also have the ability of telekinesis?
True.
Which, I don't know, I always thought about that. I figured that, I've always felt that like the professor's always held back.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like that as well.
Another question. Jeremy Cyrus, thanks for this comment. He has said, with Mystique posing as Stryker, I wonder if she will put Logan through the Weapon X program, or case in point, putting him through the adamantium grafted through his whole entire body. Or if he will use his memory, will Mystique use him as an enemy for the X-Men? Then again, he seemed fine at the end, the New Future, when he woke up in Xavier's school. He said that he had no memory since 1973. Then the timeline has changed, and that Xavier would fill him in on the blanks. So that's an interesting point. So she found him, right? And do you think that Wolverine would honestly, willingly let Stryker do all that stuff to him all over again just to have his adamantium?
Of course not.
But then you have to think about it though, like what if he needs that adamantium to be the Weapon X or the Wolverine that we know him to be?
Right.
Do you think he would sacrifice? I mean, I think that, okay, 2016, 2017, X-Men Apocalypse is coming. We're going to talk about Apocalypse in a little bit, but just want to throw that out there. And when that comes, that lets you know that they're going to explain a little bit of the Wolverine thing. But anyway.
Oh no, man. Like, that's like, to me that seems like a lot of speculation. Like I don't know. Like no one at this point can really say, but it makes. Only thing that I feel like people should really be concerned about, and the question they should be asking is why would Mystique oppose a striker in the first place? If she was so opposed to, what's his name, doing
His methods,
experiments
then
on,
maybe she's just getting him out then. Maybe she's posing and willingly trying to get him to safety, get him back to Xavier.
True.
But then, I don't know, she got a dark side too.
But exactly, why would she pull a striker? Like, why would they show us? You know what I'm saying? This is of all people, this is Striker. This is not, you know what I'm saying, an average Joe. This is the guy who put adamantium in his body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the guy.
What if she killed Striker? And is posing as him?
If she
killed him, and then she tries, okay, well, I'm gonna just ride this out.
So what would be her motive for doing it? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of speculation. Like, it's too much to really speculate, quite honest with y'all. But those are good questions.
Really? No. But,
goodness gracious.
there's I mean, yeah, there's a couple loose ends that we don't know, but
it's like we got the relationship between Professor X and Magneto. We don't know where that's gonna go. Well, we have an idea. We don't know. We don't know what side Mystique is gonna go on now that she's considered a good guy technically, or anti-hero. We don't know if Rogue is gonna end up with the powers that we've all waited her to have.
Oh yeah, Rogue.
Because she's alive
and has to have some powers now.
And if X3 never happened and she never got any kind of cure or whatever, then I mean everything's changed, bro. It's like they pulled a Star Trek on ourselves. Because technically, even the X-Men movie X2, now it might not even have existed.
Haven't even happened. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even happened. Like technically, you could argue that. Like the first movies were like now obsolete.
Kudos to Bryan Singer, because you basically did a reboot of a reboot.
Reboot. That's crazy. That's
genius.
It's genius.
Because it fixed. A lot of people had issues with X3 because of those same three things that I said. And First Class came out, everybody was like, wow, they redeemed the whole franchise. But this brought everybody back full circle. So, to me, do you feel like, Joe, that they could make two different franchises now? And I had said this before, but since now you got a brand new, like, good storyline going on where Jean, Cyclops, Professor, everybody's alive in the future. And then on top of that, you got the younger years where you don't know what happened in between 1973 up until that point. So do you think that they could do two different franchises?
Oh, most definitely. Because, and I suggest they should do that, because one thing you don't want to lose is you don't want to lose those actors. Like those actors brought it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just because it's like a progression in time, you know, some of the newer actors that are featured in those two movies like wouldn't be in the new ones coming up. You know what I'm saying? So, but you definitely don't want to lose, because they brought it on a whole new different level. Yeah. Like,
I find it funny that they kind of look like their younger selves.
They really do. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. Like they remade, so to speak. It really changed the way you look at the characters. It really did.
Because they're different because of the circumstances. Like, we are a byproduct of our environment, you know. But yeah, thanks for that comment, Diego. appreciate the information about the professor and that maybe it was the cloning that actually took place, and maybe that was the answer to what we were trying to say. But maybe they might address that in like the behind the scenes or deleted features or whatever when the movie comes out. But so the next movie is supposed to be called X-Men Apocalypse. So me and Joe twice now have seen the end post credits. Joe, what are your final remarks on that?
Man, well, Apocalypse, I think, is one of the craziest hardcore villains in the comic book realm. That's tough. That is gonna be exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting. I cannot wait. Apocalypse, like just his name is like, yo, this guy is crazy. Like, unparalleled power, you know? And the Four Horsemen.
I didn't even see that. When we were looking at the scene, when I saw the joint happening, at the end of it, I didn't even see those horsemen in the background.
So clutch. That was so clutch. How he just came over that sand dune. It was so clutch, man. Like, I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait. I was tripping out in the movie theaters. Like, I made new friends. I was talking to people I had never met in my life. I was like, hey man, did you see that? They were like, yeah man. Apocalypse, dude. Crazy, man. We're going to see it out in premiere. I was like, yeah. I was in the halls of the movie theater jumping up and down like a little kid. Because that's how excited I was. Like, Apocalypse?
Are you serious?
What?
Were you really jumping up and down?
I was jumping up and down.
What's wrong with you?
I met Keaton that night.
Keaton!
Next day.
Bruh!
I added him on Facebook, man. That's how real it is, man.
Biggest Batman fan I ever known out there. He really enjoyed the movie too. Matter of fact, we should read his Facebook quote.
Read his Facebook quote. I'm gonna say this. You know a movie is good when after the movie, you bond with random people. Like, who does that? Only in a good movie. You know? It's just crazy. I'm in the movie the second time telling people, hey dude, stay in the movie after the credits.
And that joker didn't even listen.
Didn't even listen, man. Of course, all the serious fans are gonna come to the premiere night. So the people who came, 2 or 3 days later, most of them didn't really know what was going on.
Exactly.
Or haven't really followed the series other than the movie, so they didn't know who Apocalypse was. You better know who Apocalypse is if you watch X-Men, or if you're a Marvel fan. Like, you have to know Apocalypse.
Get yourself together.
You have to know Apocalypse.
Seriously.
You got to. Like,
but
he is the guy.
And if you don't, go back and watch the 90s animated series and you'll get the idea. This is what Keaton had to say. Keaton Hopkins.
Now listen.
Yo, real talk. I haven't been this happy after watching the movie since The Dark Knight. Days of Future Past, I am thankful for you. I will be seeing you again this weekend. I am too happy right now. Years of what the X-Men 3 did to me has finally been fixed. How do I do a tearful happy emoticon? Easily the best X-Men movie to date. And in my opinion, one of the best comic book movies ever done.
Well.
I'm singing Happy by Pharrell as I type this status. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna hug myself and fall asleep. I feels.
Did you hear that?
I feels.
These are the cries of satisfied fans. And after the credits, they put like a little caption up saying, it was like 15, that the movie itself made 15,000 jobs or something like that. I was like, what? You know? And I was just thinking about the special effects scene with your boy Quicksilver, and it's like, I wonder how many people it took to actually make that scene, because actually I graduated, you know what I'm saying, with an animation degree, so it's like I understand now why people animate in teams, because the work hours are so crazy. And just to make that one scene had to took several weeks. Depending on how big the team was. So I see now why Quicksilver only played like this much in a movie like that, because there would be no time.
Think about the money it would take to do that too.
It would just be too much resources, you know. So,
man, DC.
I'm just like, Marvel, can you give us some jobs, man? Like,
hey,
we would love to work
Marvel
on
Studios.
You know, we would love to help.
Sony, I don't know about you.
You know what I'm saying?
Fox, I don't know about you, but Marvel, yeah,
Marvel, hit us up.
Better yet, look, DC. Get a pen and paper, write your joint down, write all the things that you need. What? We got you.
We got you.
We're here for you.
We got you. Real.
But unreal though, like when I looked at the sand, and I was like, okay, this isn't the end of the movie. This is like a post-credit scene. I was like, I know they're not gonna have this man coming out like this. All of a sudden you hear these jokers chanting.
Nope.
You see from the behind, like this dude looks like a pharaoh straight up. And I was like, did they seriously just put Apocalypse up here? Sure enough, you start turning to the side at a front angle, right here to the face. I was like, that's a young Apocalypse. Not even fully developed, not even with the plates of armor that he's supposed to have, not even with the suit, not even with the abilities of growing tall. Like he's just manipulating and building a pyramid, brick for brick. No, not metal. No, not regular object. Just anything he can manipulate. This dude is going to go in, y'all. Like, I think, dare I say, I'm anticipating this more than Avengers 3.
By far.
Avengers 3 and 2 right now.
But I would agree with you on that. So I would agree with you on that. Apocalypse is that dude, man. Like, he is, like, I'll say it again, he's probably one of the worst villains.
Well,
like,
I don't know about that.
In my opinion.
What about, okay, when you looked at the end of the Avengers, right? And you finally saw Thanos, right? What had a bigger impact on you? Seeing Thanos at the end of Avengers or seeing Apocalypse at the end of this movie?
I would say Apocalypse. Just because, okay, in the X-Men world, you know what I'm saying, Apocalypse, his power is just like, what? How y'all gonna fight this dude? Like,
and win.
You know what I'm saying? Now, with the Avengers, it's like, you guys have a chance.
You got a hope.
You have a hope. You have a chance. You have a strong chance. I can see it happening. But with X-Men and versus Apocalypse, I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna win. I don't.
Yeah. I agree with you. Full on. That this made more of an impact to me than the other one did. It really did. But yeah, y'all, we are running low on battery, on film or digital space technically. Anytime y'all would like to go and have like an open Google chat, even if Joe's not here, we can maybe go and do a Google Hangouts. We like to talk with y'all, see what y'all's input is. Maybe we can have like multiple different people at once, like actually having an open discussion about a new movie that's coming out. So, you object to that, Joe?
I don't know.
You feels? Word. So, without further ado, this is SEL0320. This is MoJo Jojo. What is your YouTube channel name?
Hey, MoJo.
What's your YouTube name? Is it Joseph Johnson?
Something like that.
But yeah.
I'll leave a comment so that I can find me.
Yeah, if any of y'all want to see any of his animation work as well, leave a comment below. We can definitely spread the love so y'all can see kind of the stuff that he does. And definitely we're going to be doing some collaborations real soon. But we definitely wanted to have like a full like spoiler talk with y'all about it because we just really enjoyed the movie. And right now we're getting kind of tired and sleepy. And bruh, thanks for coming.
Oh, no problem.
Man, why you got Thanos up there?
Man. Yo.
Yo, he's a traitor, y'all. He's looking at Thanos.
I gotta like do more research, bro, on both of them.
Alright. I'm down for that. But let's roll, man. It's that time.
Bet.
Y'all be easy.
Holla at your boy.
Ow!
Oh, snap, bro. This is a dope camera. Yo, check me out.
Hey, Wazy.
Team Galaxy.
Boo. iPhone.
Google.
iPhone.
YouTube.
iPhone.
Google.
iPhone.
Google Maps.
iPhone. Man, you know you'd lose, right? I'm gone, y'all. That was a blooper for the ages. Later.